Hey everyone, it's Steve from the garden. In this video, I just want to do a little quick garden update. As you can see in front of me, I haven't planted my onions yet, and I have never planted them this late. But as you can see here, I'm still going to have some nights where the temperatures are dipping down into the low 20s, or on one day it's going to be 20 degrees, and that's just too cold to leave or to have the plants outside without protection. So if I was to plant them out at this time, I would have to set up like a poly low tunnel type setup where I have the hoops covered in plastic. And then because our daytime temperatures are still getting up into the 50s, even the 60s, I would have to make sure I get out there, open the tunnels up so that there would be air circulation and they don't get cooked during the middle of the day. So I've delayed planting onions until now, but it looks like maybe Wednesday or Thursday I might be able to actually finally get out there and get them planted. This is what the onions look like currently. I'll bring you in for a closer view. So this is what they look like at this point. They all have nice big stems and they are definitely ready for planting out in the garden. Now the onions probably could use another round of fertilization, but I was not expecting to be holding them indoors this long. Otherwise I would have done it several weeks ago. So moving on from the onions, next up I got some broccoli that's ready to go. I'm holding this indoors for the same reason, just because the unusually low temperatures for this time of year. I started two varieties of broccoli. I got Imperial and Green Magic. Both are good for going from that cold to warm period, and they have different maturity dates, so they don't all mature at the same time. And you can see some of the plants, these are a little bit smaller than some of these other ones, so they will naturally have a little bit of different harvest time anyways, just from that. But again, they have two rather different maturity dates overall. After the broccoli comes my peppers. Now I got these started at the beginning of March. Some of them are growing a little bit faster than others. That's to be expected. Like the jalapenos are growing faster than the Santa Fe or the Cayenne that I have here. These are the jalapenos. These are the Santa Fe's, and these are the Cayennes. Now, a number of these plants are ready to be up potted, and that's something I'm going to be doing today. And then you got some that are just a little bit slower, like these here. And over here on the Cayennes, you can see, I got like a bigger one, a smaller one, some different sizes here. I always start more of these plants than what I actually need. That way I can just choose the strongest plants to plant out into the garden. And anything that's left over, I can see if someone else wants. After the peppers comes the tomatoes. And I have a couple of new varieties I'm trying out this year. So some of the varieties I'm growing overall are Torringina, Summer Pick, and a new variety for me, Super Sweet 100. And I got San Marzano, which I've been saving seeds for those for a number of years. Kellogg's Breakfast, which is new for me this year. Manitoba, which is also new. And that's kind of like a vining tomato. The last one is Gold Nugget, which is kind of like an heirloom version of like a Sun Gold. About the same size and color. Torringina is also orange, but that's a hybrid. So we'll see if the Gold Nugget works out this year or not. If they do, then I can save the seeds and replant them in the future years. And for the tomatoes, these are the Torringina. Now I do have two plants in one cell. I can move one of those plants over to another cell. And then I'm going to start another round of seeds in this empty cell. Now I really only need two plants, but a number of these I'm actually going to give away. So that's why I want to make sure I get them started. And we got the Super Sweet 100, which I said, this is new to me this year. I have, again, two in one cell, so I need to move that over. And I think other people will like this too, so I will start this empty cell again. Then we got Summer Pick. Now this is a pelleted seed, and I only really need two plants. So I think maybe I will start maybe just one more cell again, and hopefully I get my third plant I need for that. San Marzano, which I've been saving these seeds for a number of years. All the germination has been good, so I got plenty of that. In fact, I'll have to thin some out. Kellogg's breakfast, which is new to me this year. So this is new seed, and I got plenty of plants. I really only need like maybe 2 of these plants, and the rest I'll give away. And then here's the Gold Nugget. I got 2 plants here, so I just need to move one over. Actually, I do have, you probably can't see it on the camera, but I do actually have a plant coming up right there, so maybe I won't need to do anything with it. Then last is the Manitoba. Now, since these are a determinate, I have some started now. I'm just gonna do the 1 plant at a time. Then, maybe a couple more weeks, I'll start another round. And a couple weeks after that, I'll start a 3rd round. That way, I kind of spread the harvest out over the course of the summer. After that comes some flowers, and I got some lettuce and basil started. So we got Starlight. This is kind of older seed. Some Shasta daisies. I didn't get good germination on these, but these seeds are probably 4 years old, I'm thinking. So I got like 1 plant here, and that looks about it. Carnations, which are new to me. I haven't grown these. These are all new seed, so plenty of plants coming up there. And we got purple coneflower. This is fresh seed also. So plenty of germination, and I can move, I got like an empty cell here. And I think I thinned all these out more or less, but looks like maybe there's 1 extra plant here I can move over. This is feathered celosia. Plenty of plants grew up in there. And we got some lettuce started. So this will be like the 1st round of lettuce, and I'm about ready to start a 2nd round. After the cold snap we got going in here, these can maybe get up potted, and then they'll be grown outside. And here we got basil. You got Italian basil, and then over on the back side here is Thai basil. And even just kind of like brushing these plants a little bit, you really get that basil smell coming up. I typically stagger plant these, so I got a round started now, and a couple of these plants I'll give away. And same with like those tomatoes. I'll wait about 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks, and I'll start another round of basil. That way, as they start getting flowering, and rather than fighting them, I just replace those plants. Another little experiment I got going on here. This is a Torringina tomato. I'm trying to grow it indoors in a rather big pot to see if I can get some tomatoes off of it before the ones that would come in the summer. And it's been flowering, and I've been having to, like manually kind of pollinate them by twiddling the flowers. And on the bottom, which you won't be able to see, I do have a couple of the cherry tomatoes starting to form down there. Next, I want to show you my amaryllis. And this window faces west, so it really only gets light during the later part of the afternoon. But they are starting to flower. So even though they kind of get neglected down here a little bit, and the pots are a little bit crowded, they keep flowering every year. Now, I do have one more cool thing to show you, and that is my pineapple is actually starting to produce fruit. This is a plant I started from the top that you cut off the pineapple and you root it. And it's about 4 years old, and it's now just producing a fruit. They only produce 1 fruit their lifetime, because after the fruit's done, the plant is done. But this flowered in like beginning of January. They're self-pollinating, but that's very exciting to see that fruit develop. So that's what's been going on in my gardening world. Let me know where you're at with your garden. And if you have any questions, you can leave a comment down below, and I'll do my best to answer them. And until next time, I hope you enjoyed, got something out of this, and we'll see you on the next one.